week, I murdered a rock, injured a stone, hospitalized a brick. I'm so mean I make medicine sick.
What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Tony Bellew. Get this. Tony Bellew explained why the human Terminator, Joyce, would be a problem for Anthony Joshua, Tyson Fury, Oleksandr Usyk, and Deontay, the Bronze Bomber Wilder. Joyce would be no easy task for any of the world's top heavyweights, Tony explained. The former WBC Cruiserweight champion gave his thoughts on the highly rated contender several months ago, and he is now being maybe the potential opponent for AJ's next fight. Okay, I had to say it like that. Following his defeat to Oleksandr Usyk back in September, Joshua activated his rematch clause. We know what happened. Usyk accepted, and now he's fighting in the war. Okay, we know this. As a result, Joshua's looking for an opponent, and Joyce's name has came into the mix. We know the beef, the back and forth between Joshua and Joyce. So those guys have been going back and forth over Twitter, all right? So that's planting some seeds, some water's growing on that sucker, and we're waiting for the sun to shine, to something to sprout. So hopefully that may be the bout that we could be looking at. But Bellew, he said, he's a problem for anyone in the world, purely based on the fact that he's going to be there at the final bell and he's going to make you work. But do you know what? It doesn't even need to get to the final bell. He's there after 6 rounds. 90% of these heavyweights are going to be feeling the pace after 6, and he doesn't. He just keeps coming and coming. I don't care if you're Anthony Joshua, if you're Tyson Fury, if you're Deontay Wilder. If you get rid of Joyce after 6 rounds, if you don't get rid of Joyce after 6 rounds, you've got a problem. And that's what you've got to understand when you're fighting someone like him. You've got to be prepared to go to hell for 12 rounds. You've got to be in unbelievable shape. And don't get me wrong, Anthony Joshua was probably one of the best conditioned heavyweights of the last 20 years, but this Joyce is a different kind of animal. He doesn't even need to do much work. He's just walking you down. It must be so much of a lift and confidence booster for a fighter going into a fight thinking these guys just can't hurt me. It's not like they are featherweights hitting him. These are 17 stone, 18 and 19 stone men hitting him with everything they've got. He's the modern day Terminator, the human Terminator. He does not stop. If you guys can remember, Michael Biehn, shout out to him, I'm a movie buff. The original Terminator, Kyle Reese, Sarah Connor, this is the scene. And he's like, it can't be reasoned with. It can't be bargained with. It will not stop. It doesn't feel pity or pain or remorse. And it will not stop until you are dead. Right? So that's what Tony Bellew is explaining about the Juggernaut. Okay? So now he has another nickname, the Human Terminator. And it makes sense. Joyce is like a guy that is part cyborg. He does not stop. He doesn't. Okay? But if you notice, that Tony Bellew, right? He mentioned all those names. And we'll get to, except Usyk. And we'll get to that too. Right? Anthony Joshua, I see him being a problem. I can understand what Tony Bellew's talking about. He doesn't stop. It's like, I think if Tony Bellew feels that way, he feels that way for a reason. We've seen Joyce take on one of the hardest, youngest upcoming punchers that we had. Okay, Daniel Dubois. Daniel Dubois was throwing and hitting him with bombs. And Joyce still kept He did not stop. Just a jab. Just a jab. And what Daniel Dubois, being, the inexperienced fighter that he was, a new, fresh, young killer, but inexperienced, didn't understand. This guy's going to throw this jab at me all night long. And as long as he throws and I do not move it or I do not counter him to show him stop throwing it, make him hesitant, he's going to keep doing it. And that's exactly what he did. And he hit Daniel Dubois, busted him up, no head movement. Corner didn't give him any instruction to move your fucking head from this jab like a telephone post, like a damn George Foreman with curly hair. Kept throwing. Yes, is he slow? Yes. But is he tough? Yes. He is like a human Terminator. And let's say Anthony Joshua goes in there half-cocked. If he runs out of gas, he will lose to Joyce. Because he will try to knock out, especially if Joshua tries to knock out Joyce and his ass is still there. That's when I think mentally fighters, not just Joshua, but all fighters start to panic. Because they know how much they have left, how much in the tank they have remaining. And they know, shit, this guy is still at me, jabbing me. I'm constantly moving, wasting my gas fuel. Okay, moving around the ring, and this big bastard keeps coming. So if Joshua's not prepared, just like Tony Bellew said, he will run out of gas, and Joyce will start to pick him apart, and break him down. Okay, that's that. Now Tyson Fury may have a better chance because Tyson Fury, he has longevity and he has heart. So even if Joyce gets to him, Tyson Fury can withstand certain types of adversity. We've learned that about when he was fighting Otto Wallin, and Otto Wallin kept coming. But this is a bigger guy, okay? And he's not a southpaw. So, and in Joyce, he's that type of dude. He has a magnificent engine, okay? Deontay Wilder could get beat up too if Deontay Wilder can't knock him out. But I think Joyce should respect Deontay Wilder because of that one-punch cannon. See, Dominic Breazeale also had a good chin, people. You better have more than that fucking with Wilder, because Wilder's not going to go in there and try to box you round after round. He's going to try to knock you out. So the special thing in a fight that could happen between Joyce and Wilder's going to try his damnedest to knock you out each and every punch. So if Joyce comes in with that mummy shit, if he wants to, and gets hit, he could end up like Dominic Breazeale. But if Joyce is able to take Wilder's right hand flush, anybody and everybody should watch out for him. Because at that point, Joyce will be like, I took that punch, and then Wilder will be like, well, damn. And if he has all that weight bulked up on him like he did his last fight with Fury, he's going to run out of gas, just like I think Joshua would run out of gas. And the same thing would happen to both of them, because Joyce will then start putting together those combinations and start applying that pressure. Now, back to Usyk, okay? He didn't mention Usyk because Usyk already defeated Joyce. A lot of people think Joyce has got better. Joyce is this and that. I think Joyce has the same attributes. He might have learned a thing or two down the road, but he's still that same type of animal. He is relentless. But here's the thing that saves Usyk. Usyk is also relentless in the gas tank category, and he proves to have a good chin. We've seen those guys go back and forth. And Usyk was just more elusive, but he did not get tired, and he did not stop. So a guy that could beat someone like Joyce would probably be Usyk. Not saying Joshua, Wilder, Fury couldn't beat him, but he is very dangerous, and I 100% absolutely agree with Tony Bellew because of these reasons. You guys tell me what you think of Tony Bellew's thoughts on Joyce and the heavyweight division. Please subscribe, and you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.